Completing the COE during an interview. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the importance of a recruiter's explanation and completion of the Certificate of Eligibility, or what is known as the COE, to a migrant family. The state education agency, known as the SEA, is required to document every migrant child's eligibility for the migrant education program using the National Certificate of Eligibility, or COE, created by the U.S. Department of Education. The COE serves as the official record of the state's eligibility determination for every individual child. The U.S. Department of Education has created a standardized national COE that all states are required to use. The national COE is comprised of three parts. 1. Required data elements, which individual states can organize according to their preference and need. 2. Required data sections, which individual states can place within the COE according to their preference and need, but that must be maintained in whole and unaltered. And 3. State-required or requested information, where space is available, that states can use to collect other data. Part 1. The importance of filling out the COE form correctly. A COE must be completed every time a child makes a new qualifying move. All attempts should be made to complete all data elements and sections of the COE. In cases where a response may not be required or does not apply, flexibility has been built into the instructions. In these cases, a recruiter must write a dash or NA in the appropriate blank. All other information must be provided. With the exception of the qualifying move and work section, if the instructions ask for additional information in the comment section, and the state has required this information as a state data element, the recruiter does not need to provide the information again in the comment section. For example, the instructions prompt the recruiter to record in the comments section the first and last names of the child's legal parents if different from the current parents. However, if the state includes data elements for legal parent information, the recruiter would not have to repeat this information in the comments section. If the recruiter completes a COE for a family, the recruiter must fill out a separate COE for any child who has a different qualifying arrival date, or QAD, or for any child who has eligibility criteria that differs from the rest of the children in the family, such as an out-of-school youth who may have moved on his or her own. In general, the QAD is the date that both the child and worker completed the move in order for the worker to find qualifying work. There are special cases that are described in the instructions for the section titled Qualifying Move and Work section. The recruiter must not include any child who 1. Was born after the qualifying move, 2. Is not eligible to receive a free public school education, such as graduating from high school or has obtained a General Educational Development or GED certificate, or 3. Did not make the qualifying move described on the COE. If more than one COE is necessary, the recruiter must complete all sections on each form. Now let's take a look at a story of a migrant family's history of migration and their interview with the recruiter. The Lozano family has a long history of migration and as farm workers. The parents have always lived in the Delta area of the lower Rio Grande Valley in a small hamlet of Edcouch, Texas. The community is one of the poorest in Hidalgo County, and the county itself is one of the most impoverished in the nation. The only work available is in agriculture, and is now more limited than ever. In its heyday, the valley had a strong economy, producing all sorts of fruits and vegetables, especially oranges. The repeated winter freezes in the late 1950s killed the citrus crops, which were replaced by the cotton industry. In the 1960s, the cotton picking machines eliminated the need for human cotton pickers, and the farm-working families were forced to migrate to northern states in search of work. Thus, the annual migrations had begun en masse. The Lozano family has 7 family members. The parents, Pedro M. Lozano and Maria Rios Lozano, have 5 living children. The oldest are the girls, Blanca Nelda, 16, Isamare Maria, 15, and Marisela Aide, 13. The boys are Jorge Efrain, 9, and Luis Pedro, 2. The older boy, Jorge Efrain, does not live with the family because of his disability and resides at a state-funded Texas school for the deaf in Austin. This summer, the family takes Efrain on a trip to Hart, Michigan. The family starts their trip north at the end of May, when the school year ends. They migrate to Hart, Michigan to work in the pickle fields. First activities in late May or early June are thinning and weeding the cucumber fields. The pickle harvest follows in mid to late June. When this work is done in mid-July, the rest of the summer is spent in the cherry harvest. Every member of the family needs to work, so everyone is in the fields. If a recruiter were to interview this family using the COE for Marisela Aide, the interview would look something like this. Part 2. Interviewing a migrant family.
Hello, Mrs. Maria. My name is Adriana, and I work with the Migrant Education Program. It is a program that provides additional educational services that could help you or your children with their education. If I can speak to you for a few minutes about your family and your work, some members of your family might be eligible for services. Even if you're not eligible, I know some other helpful programs that I can tell you about. Okay? Do you have children?
Yes.
Are you a parent?
Yes.
Are there any children live with you in your household who are younger than 22?
Yes.
What are their names and ages?
Jorge Efrain is 9. Blanca is 16 years.
Okay. Are you married?
Yes.
Does your husband live in the area?
Yes.
Is your husband younger than 22?
No.
Okay. Have any older children graduated from high school?
No.
Have you ever moved?
Yes.
Have your children are going to different school?
Yes, Jorge Efrain went to the Texas school for the deaf.
Who moved with you?
And my husband and my children.
Where did you move from?
We moved from Edge Coast, Texas,
Okay.
to Michigan.
Did your children go to a different school after you moved?
Yes, the children went to Scout in Elsa School, Indigo, Hart Public District, Public School District.
When did you last move?
In May.
When was the last time that you moved to look for work in agriculture or fishing?
May.
When did you arrive here?
And May 30 in 2009.
Why did you move here?
For work,
What kind of work were you trying to find?
seasonal work.
Would you have moved if this work was not available?
No.
If you moved to find work, are you doing this type of work now?
Yes.
Did Pedro find the work that he was looking for?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Thinning and the windies cucumbers.
Tining and weeding cucumbers. When you moved here originally, did you plan to stay permanently?
No.
How long do you plan to do this work?
Seasonal.
Were you hired for a certain amount of time?
Yes, seasonal.
Are you employed
No.
anywhere else?
No.
Do other people in your family have other work?
Yes, my husband.
Now I want to fill out the remaining information on the certificate of eligibility form that Migrant Education Program. You have been very helpful. I'm going to follow up with my office so they can decide if you and your family are eligible for the program. After all this discussion, you have anything else to add or any question for me?
Okay.
Now I'm going to summarize some of the information you told me. Please listen carefully and see if I understood the information that you provide. If I didn't understand something you said, please let me know and I will change it. Did you told me that you came for Edcouch-Elsa School District?
Yes.
Did you told me that you came to work for thinning and weeding cucumbers?
Mm-hmm.
Did you also tell me that you came to work for a seasonal work?
Yes.
How many months do you think you will stay in this area?
3 months.
If the information that I have confirmed with you is correct, the interview is now over. Would you please sign the certificate of eligibility form here to confirm that the information you have provided is correct? Your signature simply means that you confirm that I have written what you told me.
Okay.
Please.
Aquí.
Yeah, right there. Do you know if there are any other children in this area who might be eligible for the migrant education program?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Would it be possible for me to leave some extra business cards that you could give it to other families who are doing similar work and who may have children who might be eligible?
Okay.
Here you have.
Thank
Thank you for your time and nice to meet you.
you.
What did the recruiter do well? What should the recruiter do differently in the future?